In this question, we've got a grouped frequency table, and we're asked to write down the modal class. Now, mode means thing that happens the most, that is, the value that has the highest frequency. So as we look down our frequency list, we can see that 44 is the highest value for the frequency, and so the modal class, the one that's got that, is 400, less than V is less than or equal to 500. We're then asked to find an estimate of the mean volume of water used by the 80 families. So what we need to do here is we need to make an estimate. In that first group, 0 to 100, we have a frequency of 2. This means that there are 2 families that use between 0 and 100. We don't know what amount they actually use. We just know that it's somewhere between 0 and 100. So to make life simpler, what we do is we say, well, we're going to estimate them both as being 50, the midpoint of 0 and 100. The next one we're going to use 150, 250, 350, 450, and 550. Then what we need to do is find the mean, and the mean is found by adding up all the values that we have and dividing by how many there are. So we have got 2 occasions with 50. We have got another 4 occasions with 150, 6 with 250, and so on. We're going to add all of those together, and then we're going to divide all of that by the total number of families that we have. We could do it by adding up all of the frequencies, or by noticing that we've already been given that piece of information there at 80, and actually we were given it right at the start as well. So we're going to divide by 80. So coming across to the calculator, we're going to type it all in exactly like that. 2 times 50 plus 4 times 150 plus 6 times 250 plus 18 times 350 plus 44 times 450 plus 6 times 550, and that equals 31,600. That is what we're going to divide by 80. So divide by 80 equals, and we get the answer 395. And there we go. This question actually has a second part to it. We've got to complete the cumulative frequency graph. So going between the 2 of them, we had 2 who were between 0 and 100. Our next value, we come back to the previous page, we had 4 values there between 100 and 200. This means, in terms of cumulative frequency, that what we've got is 2 plus 4. 6. There are 6 who are between 0 and 200. So we keep on adding these values up, and we're going to go 2, 6, 12, 30, 74, and 80. And of course, that final number should be the total number of families that we actually have. It's always good to check that. Then what we need to do is we need to draw our cumulative frequency graph. This is the last part of the question. Drawing a cumulative frequency graph, what you should do is you should be looking to take the values that you've got there. You should be plotting 2 on the y-axis with 100, the end point of that class, on the x-axis. So if we plot that, as we look at our scale, we've got 20 taking up 10 squares on our y-axis, and so 2 is going to be in that position. Sorry about that. 2 is going to be in that position there at 100. Our next one, 6, is at 200, so we're going to plot that one there. Then we're going to plot 12 at 300 and 30 at 400, 74 at 500, which is going to be there, and 80 at 600. And then this needs to be joined up with straight lines. I'm just using a pen without a ruler here. You should use a ruler in the exam, but you're going to get a graph that looks approximately like that. In the very last section, we are asked to use the graph to find an estimate for the median volume of water used by the 80 families. Remember, median is the middle value. We've got 80 families. We're going to look at 40. So we find 40 on the axis. We come along using our ruler, of course. You're going to do this more accurately than I'm doing at the moment. Whoops. And there it goes. And then we just simply need to read off this value here. So on that scale, we have got 10 units going across for each 100. That is at approximately 25. So I make that to be 420, 425, somewhere around there. It should be approximately that kind of value.